So, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity this year to talk to the students of Red Hill Senior High School in person. Um, Things happen. You guys will find that out in life. But I got to thinking last night, just because the opportunity couldn't come to me, I couldn't create the opportunity myself, right? So, this video, if you're watching it, is because you're about to graduate, and this, what would have been in front of you guys personally, was something that I've literally been scared to do for a lot of years of my life. So I want to give you this, and I hope that if any of you that watch it, some of you will take away the value of what I want to try to share. You guys graduating this year is something special to me because you are literally sitting right where I sat 20 years ago this month. 20 years ago, I sat in a high school gym with no air conditioning, 100 and some other classmates, teachers, guests, sweating to death, and all I could think about is I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to be done. I was ready to get out of school. But the truth is, what I really wish, I wish somebody had came to me 20 years ago and tried to give me what I am trying to give you. Because quite frankly, I was lost. I was 18 years old. I thought the world owed me everything. I thought I owed the world nothing. I thought I was going to be young forever, and I had not even begun to experience the struggle that life will hand me ahead of time. I was sitting in your seats, in your position, and I was not ready for what life was about to hand me. Had somebody had been there then to give me their advice and their story, would have meant the world, and I want to give that to you. You see, when I say I was lost, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be, at that time, if you can imagine, I wanted to be a landscape architect. Me, a writer, I wanted to be a landscape architect. I can tell you today, I have no interest in architecture, and I don't really care that much about landscaping. But you see, when you graduate, you're supposed to do something. For me, my parents were willing to pay for my college, and I had to make a choice. My parents said, if we're going to pay for it, you're going to do it. Well, not really wanting to do landscape architecture when the time came to actually make the decision. I remember sitting down with the college booklet, and I sat there and I thought, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? And then finally, I came across something. It was called quality management. I got to reading at it, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Don't make any decision that you're about to make be with that statement. Oh, I'll just do that. Or, yeah, that sounds good. Don't make the decisions that are going to base your future off of half excited answers. I started college at a local college. I was miserable. The classes weren't hard, but I hated the courses. I wasn't interested in management. I did appreciate quality, but I wasn't a manager. But My folks were paying for the college, and I had to do something. See, I'm 38 years old. It took me 24 years from the time I was born to decide what I really wanted to do. It took me 24 years. First, I wanted to be a conservation officer. Then I wanted to be a poet. And I wanted to be a songwriter. And I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a landscape architect. I wanted to be in the military. I didn't know. It took me 24 years. And it also took 12 years after that 24 to actually tell myself that I was actually going to do it and not look back. Why did it take me that long? Like a lot of you, you may not know what you want to do yet. And that's fine. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do something or lose it all. Don't be pressured into choosing something that you may regret. If you are benefiting from someone else paying for it, still do everything you can to make it your choice or make it be on your terms, because you are born with the feet that you will die with. And it's those feet that will carry you through every choice that you'll make. And it can't be somebody else's decision for you. Don't be 38 years old and finally deciding at 36 to do something about it. Yeah, I've been really working hard for 2 years now. I'm getting a lot of success. I write children's books. I'm getting ready to go across the country and travel and give presentations to elementary schools. I'm getting ready to go to Chicago next year. Well, actually in the fall, and speak to a large group of children's book writers and illustrators. But it took 36 out of 38 years to decide I was actually going to do it. If you're good at something, do it. Don't wait, because you're not promised tomorrow, guys. And I want to give you a quote that means a lot to me. And the quote is, "The poorest man in the world is not the man without a penny. The poorest man is the man or woman without a dream." See, too many of us get up in the morning, we drag ourselves to work, we hate our job, we hate the people we work with, we come home, we bring that negativity home to our spouse, to our children. You were meant to do more in this life than be born, work, and pay your bills. There is billions of things out there for you to see, for you to do. And don't let anybody confine the limits of your imagination to being an ant in a line, getting up, going to work, paying the bills, and then just going home and just existing. Everybody has to work. Everybody has bills to pay. But you're meant to live in that, not live for it. You see, you guys are getting ready to graduate. You're going to enter the gym as boys and girls for the last time. I mean, think about that. While you're in school, the world looks at you as a boy or as a girl. Through the process of your graduation ceremony, you will walk back out of those doors. Boys will turn into men and girls will turn into women. And it's at that point, your family's going to be outside. They're going to be waiting to congratulate you. But something else is going to be out there and it's going to be waiting for you. It's called life. Life is so big that it can personally be there for each one of you, and it will be. It'll come out and life will pat you on the back, and life's going to say, so, what are you going to do? What's your plans? It did that to me. And when I walked out of the gym at my old school, I looked at life and I said, I don't really know. Life looked at me and grinned. And life said, Levi, you and I are going to have a lot of fun. And what life meant then, because I didn't have a clue where I wanted to go, I didn't even have a faucet of an idea. I gave life the reins of my life, and life said, I'm going to have fun with you. See, if we don't know where we're going, or we don't have a clue, life will lead us all over the place. And why do some of us not have a clue? Because some of us, we don't, if you're like me, I was scared of everybody. I didn't want to make anybody mad. I didn't want to stick out. I didn't want anybody to talk about me. I didn't want to push that comfort zone. Your comfort zone is that area that you feel 100% certain that you are dominant and controlling in. And see, I didn't want to push that. And because I didn't want to push, life pushed me. Because in life, you are going to either have to push or you are going to be pushed. That is called aging. It's called growing. It's called maturing. You're going to go from the infant years to the golden years, whether you like it or not. The only question is, as you graduate, are you going to push life? Are you going to dictate it? Or are you going to let life push you? Because as I can tell you, you're going to feel pain whether you're pushing or whether life pushes. But at least if you're pushing, you are in control of the reward that you are going to give for yourself. If you leave it up to life, you will wake up every day hating your job. If you leave it up to life, you will hate every coworker that you ever have. You will blame everything on your boss. You'll blame everything on your parents. But if you take control, and this is something I just did 2 years ago, and I'm 38. I always wanted more, but I wasn't willing to fight for it. I wasn't willing to grind for it. Now I am. And when I started pushing, things started changing. And I want it to be very clear that you don't have to know every step to get there. If you don't have a clue yet, when you walk out of those gym doors and you talk to life, tell life, I don't know now, but I'm in control of making that decision. And start looking at things that you want to do. But if you know what you want to do and you go out after graduation and life throws its arm around you and it says, hey, what have you got planned for us? And you know what you want to do, you don't have to know it all. You'll get there. You just tell life what you're wanting from it. And I promise you, life will work with you. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but life will work with you and you will find, as I am, and after 2 years, success will come. People will come from nowhere wanting to help you. People will support you. Yes, people will turn their back on you. People will look down on you. People may say something about you. But you're the one born in the feet that you're going to walk in until you die, not them. So something that a lot of you may not know is I'm a janitor. Yeah, I'm a janitor. I'm an author. but I'm a janitor. But see, when I introduce myself and people say, what do you do? I don't say I'm a janitor and an author. I just tell people I'm an author. And I'm an author that just happens to work an evening job as a janitor to fulfill my dream. I don't plan on being that forever. Stephen King, one of the greatest authors of all time, he was a janitor and lived in a trailer. He did that job to write his first book, to get it submitted, and become obviously what we all know today. So, whatever you've got to do to get to where you want, don't listen to anybody. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Go out there and do it. You're always going to have critics. So just do it. Their words will fade. You won't. So with this job, I took this job over almost a year ago. And because I took this job, it opened up my daytime. And because of having the daytime free, I began traveling across the country, traveling to elementary schools, reading my book, Barney and Lexi, Lost in Lawrenceville, to elementary school kids. I blew up. My success exploded because I took the chance. I left a job I had for 9 years. I got too comfortable in it. I took a chance, took this new job, which made me push my comfort zone. And now I go to dozens of schools all over. Kids love my book. Teachers love my book. Principals love my book. But I had to get out there. At this point in your life, as you're getting ready to graduate, take the chance. Don't be sitting around waiting on somebody else to do it for you. God, I did that for years. I expected things from everybody else, and the truth is, guys, life's not going to bring it to you. But if you go after it, you will find it coming. You just got to work for it. So, a good mental aid that I want to give you. I've been a writer now for 13 years. It'll be 14 in August. 13 years, and I can tell you, 12 of those years, I sold 200 books in 12 years. Years, guys. Now, 1 year later, after making a massive improvement, massive change. You want to know how many books I've sold? January, February, March, and April. Remember, 212 years. I've sold 1,000 in 4 months. And it's through hard work. Don't be afraid when you guys leave this gym and you all graduate. Don't be afraid to put in the hard work. Your friends say, "Hey, come on out. Let's have a party." I can't. I got to do this. Well, come on. We're going to go run around. So and so be there. She likes you. Next time, I got to get this done. You look at successful people, Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins. These people became who they are through hard work. They told people, I can't go out tonight. They told people, I can do this next weekend, but I got to use this weekend to get this done. And they were laughed at. And now look at who they are. They're some of the most successful names in America. So I want to ask you, as you graduate, are you happy with your life right where it is? Are you happy? And I'm not talking about are you happy with mom and dad or brothers and sisters or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I mean, look inside of you. And I really want to know, are you happy? Are you happy with your preparedness to go out here and take life on? Do you wake up? Do you wake up every day, or most days? We'll give you a break here. Everybody sleeps in on Sunday. But do you wake up and when you open your eyes, do you know that you have your life under control? Do you wake up, hit the alarm button, turn it off, you get up, and the moment your brain starts processing, you got it. Yeah, it may have been a bad day yesterday, situation may have happened, but you know that you're still in control. Do you wake up wanting more? Do you wake up saying, today I'm going to do better than yesterday? I can have more. Do you spend your days worrying more about what's going to get you to the end versus what everybody else is going to say? So, or the other, do you wake up in the morning and you hit the snooze 3 times? You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to school. You don't want to go to work. You're dreading your boss. You're dreading your teacher. Or when you get into college, if you wake up and you're dreading your professor, what are you prepared for? Something that I like to always use, and I want to share with you. On Facebook, there is a page called The World. And I subscribe to it. And it's nothing but pictures, beautiful, beautiful pictures of everything out there in this world. Amazing places. I would ask you to check it out. Look at it. It's called The World. I love it because when I wake up, I look at these photos and I see that there is more than right here. There's more than where you're at. And all too often we get too comfortable with where we're at. There's things out there to show you that there's more. Look at these things, read about these places, get excited, and allow that to build your desire to want to get out there and do more. You see, for 36 years of my life, I woke up and I felt like life was killing me. I woke up, guys, I woke up and I felt like life was beating me to the ground. I'll be honest, a lot of those years I was miserable. I lived in fear every day of making someone mad, saying anything that someone else wouldn't agree with. I literally was led around for 36 years of my life. What changed? Right here. Right here in my mind. And I'm nobody special. I'm not some great legend. I'm a father of 3. I'm an aspiring author and speaker. I'm just like you, just a few years older. But I made the choice that I was tired of being told what to do. I was tired of not having any control. And I took those reins back from life. And I took my life on. And how did I do that? I I started what I call my go to grow philosophy that I used in just 2 years. And that is made up of 5 parts. And I truly believe that the 5 parts of this, it's essential to everything in life. And the first part of this is know what you want to do. And remember, you don't have to know every step. Don't worry. You'll get to that. You'll get to that part, guys. Just know what you want to do. Remember, poorest man's not a man without a penny. The poorest man is a man or woman without a dream. But just know what you want to do. You can be a rich person. You can have the best plane. But if you have a pilot that doesn't know what he or she's doing, you're just going to circle the air. You're not going to go anywhere. You can have the biggest and best yacht, but if you have a captain that doesn't know how to navigate, you're going to wander aimlessly. Telling life that you at least know what you expect from your life is the very first step, I believe, in knowing. If you don't know where you're going, everything else that I'm going to tell you is just going to fall to the wayside because you're not going to know where to go. And to know what you want, what are you passionate about? What could you do every day and not feel like you're working? That's what you should be researching. That's what you should want to do. It's all about passion. We're not promised tomorrow. So passion is the best tool that we have to live a very successful life. And it's possible for everyone. Like I said, you don't have to know every step. Too many times people get, college, adults. Heck, I mean, there's times that I have to really sit and tell myself that I don't need to know this, but you don't have to know every step. When life asks you what you want, you don't have to give it your portfolio decade by decade of what you're going to be doing. Life will give you attention when you tell it at least what you are expecting out of it. And as you graduate, the second rule of what I call the go to grow, believe in yourself, guys. Believe right here and right here. There's going to be people, when you say that you're going to do something, there are going to be critics. And if you can't stand critics, don't do anything interesting. Don't do anything you're passionate about. And whatever you do, don't do anything that's going to draw attention. Critics will come out of the woodwork when they see that you're trying to be somebody, because they want to keep as many people, unfortunately, where they're at. But you're better than that. Believe in yourself. If you're waiting on your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your teacher or whoever, your coach, to give you the praise that you're looking for to start believing in yourself, guys, they have a different mindset than you. There's no guarantee that they're going to be able to give you what you want. But God gives us all the potential right here to change this. You believe in yourself, and others will notice it. But if you don't believe in yourself to begin with, you're not going to be able to do any of this. And I know that you can believe in yourself. I think you can do great things. Something else that's very, very important as you graduate. If you are hanging around people who are putting you down, people who are not believing in you, if you're dating this guy and he says, well, you don't need to do this, I'll take care of you. Or you're dating a girl that says, well, that's silly. Why in the world would you do that? Or people who just generally are critical of anything that you do. This is what is called energy drainers. These are people who really don't want nothing from you, but they don't want you to have anything either. And a lot of times, unfortunately, it's guys, it's people who are closest to us. It's people who are our friends, our family, people that we're putting our faith into. But part of having success is getting yourself around like-minded people, people who share the drive that you've got, people who want more out of this thing called life. See, they say that you're the association of your five closest friends. You are the mixture of your five closest friends. If your five closest friends get up, go to work, they don't like their job, they come home, they have a family life, they get up, they go back to work, they don't like their job, and it's just a cycle of, boy, wish things would change. God, I'm tired of this job, and it's this and it's that. And here you are stuck in the middle saying, I want more and I'm going to get more. If you don't change your environment, you will find yourself 10 years later thinking the exact same way that your closest friends or family do. And nobody nobody wants to come up and say, hey, we're just not the same anymore, or I know we're family, but I just don't share your opinion. Nobody wants to get into that situation. But if you want to succeed, you have to be willing to walk away from negative people. And if you can't walk away completely, you have to be able to say you go to a family reunion and you don't like to talk to your Uncle Bob because he's critical of everything you do, or Aunt Nancy doesn't think you'll ever make it because there's too many people doing it. Instead of spending an hour with each of them, spend 15 minutes and then spend the other 45 with some family member who's at least positive. They don't have to be interested in what you are, but get away from Uncle Bob, get away from Aunt Nancy. I don't care that they're family. I don't care that it's been a friendship that's been around for 20 years. You don't have to have any bad feelings about anybody, because bad feelings, honestly, they're negative. I've had to let friends go. I've had to distance myself from family. It doesn't mean that that I hate anybody, that I've never said anything bad about anybody. But when I started doing that and I started replacing it with people who are successful, people who go out and they do for a living what they want. For example, I've got a friend. His name's Coit Cooper. He has a PhD. And yeah, there's my cat in the background. But Coit has a PhD, travels all over this country. He's a life coach. He's a motivational speaker. I call him a performance artist because he's all about enhancing your performance. Josh Liskey. Josh Liskey is also a best-selling author. He is a pastor. He's a motivational speaker. He's a life coach. He's traveled all over the world, motivating people, lifting people up, guiding them towards success. I believe at one time Josh was actually considered one of the greatest salesmen in the United States. I think Josh could sell ice to an Eskimo. I really believe that. I have a friend named Daniel. Daniel Lusk owns Lusk Entertainment. He is a magician. He owns his own entertainment company. He travels all over, performing magic tricks for children, lifting their spirits. He's got more great reviews than anybody I've ever seen. I've got a friend that lives in northern Indiana. He's a very well respected orthopedic surgeon, and he's just as successful as a photographer. You see what I'm saying? You can be with these who are grinding daily with things they don't like, or put yourself in a category. You don't have to be the smartest in the group. In fact, it's better because you'll learn if you're not. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the most educated. But put yourself into groups with people. You don't have to see them every day. You don't have to watch football with them on Sundays. You can live clear across the country. And we all live way separately from each other. But let good family, good associations, good friends motivate you. And that all ties into believing in yourself. Third thing, you can have the first two. You can know what you want to do and you can believe in yourself. But if you don't have a work ethic, and I'm serious, guys, if you don't have a work ethic, you're going to fail. And I want to tell you a story. Last year, I got invited to Parkside Elementary School in Lawrenceville, Illinois, by a wonderful teacher who has become a great friend. I got asked, Levi, we'd love you to come in. We want you to read to the whole school. But we've got the gym tied up. So what we'd like you to do, can you come in for 4 or 5 days in a row. And my old mentality thought, oh my gosh, boy, that's a lot of days. And, you know, gosh, that's just a lot of work. And it wasn't very long till after that, my new mindset that I started in a couple years ago kicked in, and it said, how bad do you want it, Levi? How bad do you want it? Do you want to just tell people you're an author, or do you want to go out and show the world that you are an author? And I said, I want to show the world. And without hesitation, I wrote back. I said, mark me down. Guys, I went to this school literally feeling like I was going to be sick to my stomach. I didn't know what I was going to do. My hands were sweaty. I was sweating. But when I got through those days, the kids loved it. The teachers loved it. And I felt wonderful. But having the work ethic to go do it got me there. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not hard. A work ethic can be simple, but it's not easy. Making a decision to do it is simple. The work is hard, but the reward on the other side of that work, it's going to be worth it, guys. I promise you. Okay? And I want to tell you, a lot of people hear the word simple and you think easy, right? You think easy. Um, and that's just it. Simple means simply this. It's a simple decision to make. Nobody's forcing you to make it. You say, I want to be a children's writer. That is a simple decision. You know that you're passionate about it. You know that you believe in yourself. You know that you've got the work ethic. That is a simple decision to make. And then a lot of times we get out into it and we have to start grinding. We have to start making it happen. And then we say, oh, wait a minute. This is hard. This isn't simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. Easy means that it doesn't take any effort. And if you're going to try to succeed at anything once you graduate, I want to tell you, if you're going into it thinking it's going to be easy and you're not going to have to put any effort into it, I want to tell you now, before you go through what I did, you're going to have a hard, hard road. But if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and you're willing to take things on, that work ethic will carry you. The fourth thing of go to grow that I believe in, whether you succeed or whether you're learning. See, I don't believe in failure. You either win, aka succeed, or you learn. Because when you fall down, learn what caused you to fall down, get back up. You're going to have critics. You're going to have constructive criticism, people who are trying to help guide you. Regardless of that, regardless of whether you succeed or whether you're still learning, the fourth thing is be willing to take those setbacks. And if you have to call them failures, that's fine. I refuse to call them that. But if you have to do this and you have the critics and you have the constructive criticism, regardless, be willing. After you know what you want to do, after you believe in yourself, after you're putting in the work, be willing to keep working through it, keep believing in yourself through it, and keep knowing what you want to do through it. Like I told you earlier, critics' words will fade, you won't. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison took 1,000 tries to make the modern light bulb. Thomas Edison was quoted saying, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I just successfully found out 1,000 ways not to create a light bulb. I mean, it's awesome. And that's what I want for you guys to say. As you're graduating and somebody says you're not going to make it or you're not smart enough, just think of Edison, 1,000 ways just not to do something. And what did he do? He created the light bulb. Colonel Sanders owns Kentucky Fried Chicken. He failed 1,000 times to sell his chicken recipe. First time after that 1,000, he sold it, and they are now the biggest chicken franchise operation in the world. So, believe, and don't let the setbacks make you associate bad things to your dream. Now, those of you who are getting ready to graduate, some of you have done sports, and I don't know if you understand this or not. If you play track and field, there's a year in history that's very important. I'm talking about setbacks, things that are holding us back in this fourth stage. 1954. Up until 1954, in the world of track and field, it was believed no human being on the planet could at no point run the 4-minute mile. It was impossible. No one had ever done it. 1954, a guy named Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. He failed a lot of times, but he finally made it. Since 1954, this is very important, I want you to hear me. Since 1954, over 20,000 people have broke the 4-minute mile, and some of them are recorded high school students. But for 1,954 years before that, it was believed it couldn't be done. So when people tell you you're not going to make it, part of accepting that you can go through and make it past all that belief that you can get through the constructive criticism, you can get through the negative criticism, just like Roger did, you can succeed at your own 4-minute mile. So you got to be able to take constructive criticism and toss that non-constructive criticism out the window. The fifth and final thing that I want to give you guys on that go to grow philosophy is whether you win or learn, always give something back. You guys are graduating. Boys, you're now men. Girls, you're now women. I want to tell you that if you help enough people have value in their world, this world will turn around and it'll give you anything you want, as long as you're given from the heart. I want to say, look at guys like Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Steve Harvey. Look at guys like this, Les Brown. Look at motivational speakers like this. These guys go out there with everything they've got, and they give the value to people. That's why they're so successful. Eric Thomas has his own shoe line. He's written books. Tony Robbins owns his own island. Les Brown has his own company. Steve Harvey's he's on everything. I mean, he's on every channel because he's that successful. But it's because of the value that they give. So whether you succeed or whether you have a setback, always be willing to give to others, and you will find others are more than happy in your life to give back to you, and it helps build your character. So know what you want to do. You don't have to know perfectly, just know what you want. Believe in yourself. Have a work ethic. Be willing to take the setbacks in stride and always give something back. See, I want to share a quick story here real quick. Some of you can see this tree, right? You can see this tree poster. See, half the tree's gone, right? See, go to grow. But look at this tree. This tree is like you. You have rough edges. People are looking at you saying, oh God, look at that. Half of you's wasted, boyfriend broke up with you, girlfriend broke up with you, you lost a mother or father. You almost didn't graduate. You're going to have rough edges. But like this tree's not stopping just because it's had a rough life. Look at it. It's growing because there's nothing in life telling it to stop. And that's what I love to use this tree as an example. You're going to be told that you can't make it. You're going to be told that you're not good enough. But just like that tree, don't stop growing until your life is literally over. Because there's no one out there to tell you that you really can't but you. And I love to use that tree as an example because that tree is still growing today, and it reminds me every time I drive by it. But I'm going to wrap up. But you might be saying, well, yeah, Levi, that works for you, but it doesn't, you don't know me. It's a great speech. I know you're trying to motivate me because I'm graduating, but you don't know me. So as I wrap up, you think I don't know you, okay? And I don't know you personally. You might be saying, but I've gone through a lot and you don't understand. I want to tell you right now, I have sold 1,000 books this year. I am growing success considerably since I changed my mindset. I'm going to speak to the largest children's writers groups in the country this fall. I'm going all over the country talking to elementary school kids. That sounds great. But to tell you that I know you, my parents divorced when I was 2 years old. I have no memory with my parents. When I was a freshman in high school, on my birthday, I lost my grandma. Every day, my birthday is on her headstone. It was during high school that I thought of suicide. And because of a couple people that cared, I don't know that I ever would have done it, but it's scary to think that I was thinking about it. I grew up not believing in myself. 4 months after my writing career started, my grandpa died on Christmas Eve. A week later, on New Year's, my other grandpa died. In fact, my first book is dedicated to both of them. So my Christmas is affected. My New Year's is affected. Something else. I know your pain. I've experienced something that I hope you never experience. I've lost a child. And her birthday was this month. My daughter would have been 11 years old this month. I'll never watch her grow up. I'll never watch her get married. I'll never walk her down the aisle. I'll never get to hear my grandkids that she gives me call me grandpa. 4 years ago, a week ago, I lost my brother 6 months before his 30th birthday, the day after Thanksgiving. So my birthday has something, Christmas has something, New Year's has something, around Memorial Day has something, and now we have Thanksgiving. My brother slipped in the shower, and without going into details, he hurt his neck really bad. He died instantly. I've been bankrupt. I've been foreclosed. I had a car repossessed while writing my first book. I've been divorced twice. I've been homeless. And let me tell you, I hope you never feel that feeling of homelessness. Not knowing where you're going to lay your head that night, not knowing if you're going to have a bed to lay in. I know too well that feeling of sleeping in your car and that painful feeling every morning when you got up after 4 hours of sleep in the driver's seat and you're so sore that you can't even straighten up. I want you to know, I know where you're coming from. If you think I don't know, I do. And I hope that you haven't gone through this. But always remember that no matter what you've gone through, there's always somebody that's had it worse. And be glad that you don't. So I understand your pain. I've had setbacks. But like number 3 says, have a work ethic. Regardless of it, I kept working. Number 4, I kept ignoring the naysayers, the criticism, and keep going. And like I said, across the country, baby, I'm succeeding. And I'm not afraid to let people know that. So I'm going to close up here, but I want to leave you with 2 quotes. And if you guys have seen the movie Rocky Balboa, it's a quote that I love so much, and it says, "The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and it's a nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And I ask you, how much can you take and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done. If you know what you're worth, guys, go out and get what you're worth. Be willing to take the hits, and don't ever point your finger saying that you're not where you want to be because of him, her, or anybody. Cowards do that. And guys, I know some, the people I've met, I don't have to know you, but I know you're not a coward. Success is inside of you. Because who's got the right to stop you? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut, and it ain't nobody's right to say no after you have earned the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do. So as I say goodbye and congratulations on graduation, I want to leave you with one last quote. And it means the world to me, and I want, if you hear anything, hear this from me. It's from Arnold Schwarzenegger, bodybuilder, actor, governor, former governor of California. And he said this several years ago. He said, "You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. You guys are capable of amazing, beautiful things." I believe without a doubt that you guys can do this. You got this. Remember what I said. Know what you want. Believe in yourself. Have a good work ethic. Be willing to take the criticism in stride and always give something back no matter what. And I promise you that this world will open up. There's setbacks everywhere, but you guys can make it. So congratulations to you, the class of 2017, men and women. Now go out there and crush it.